James, one of my favorite tidbits going into this game was Joe Burrow as a 3+ point underdog. He won every game when he was a 3+ point underdog this year. And
Ooh.
I guess that trend held up. They beat the
Yeah.
Chiefs, which makes them the fourth time that the Bengals have beaten a team twice this year. They overcome 7.5 point in some books, I think, odds to just win straight up. They get to the Super Bowl. Like, what were the odds preseason for Bengals win AFC? Like plus 8,000 or plus
I'm
5,000?
sure. Yeah.
Something nuts. Some people are cashing some big tickets that had faith in the bank. Like the Bengals fans out there, and if you're one of them, please say something in the comments on YouTube or tweet at us on Twitter. If you're one of the
Tweet at
Bengals
us. Yeah.
that Bengals fans that had the Bengals going to the Super Bowl in the preseason, I want to see how big those wagers were. I want to know who put like 10 G's on the Bengals to go to the Super Bowl this year and is just absolutely rolling in some casinos money right now. That's what I
Well,
want to know, because good for them, and that's just going back to the preseason and what you said at the beginning about Joe Burrow over and what he thought in the preseason. Talk about exceeding expectations. Just my internal feeling is the Paul Rudd look at us GIF, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Like, look at
mhm.
us. Who'd have thought? Look at
Not
us.
me.
We're gonna have to get some hot wings in
Mhm.
LA and reenact that moment, James.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. There's no doubt about it. It's a crazy moment. Crazy moment. And are you good?
Congratulations. Happy
Ah,
trip.
thank you. I appreciate it. Anyways, yeah, it was a great moment, wild, insane, and we do need to reenact that in LA. Hopefully, did you book your flight? By the way, I booked my flight. My flight is booked, so I'll see all the Bengals fans out in LA. It will be a lot of fun, and I'm excited. I'm trying to think of other like post game moments that were like really, really cool. The family was hugging a lot. They were celebrating and stuff. I think that's really cool for them. They take a lot of heat, and they've spent a lot of money on this team to get them to this point.
Great
And
moment for Mike Brown. Yeah, Mike
for,
Brown and the
for sure.
family. Great moment for them. 33 years in the making.
Yeah, yeah, and so that's certainly something. But I feel good about for hell the Bengals workers I know, and I'm not going to start naming them because if I do, I'm going to forget somebody. But they know who they are, and you know how excited it is the coaching staff when people like me. Again, think about it. Lou, people were calling for Lou's head. I was above that. I was saying Zach's head last year. Like it's crazy the turnaround, and look, and I still think they're growing. Like that's the fun part is they're this good and they're this different, and they're still. It's not like Joe Burrow's his best yet,
Yeah.
or Jamar Chase is his best yet. Smoke him if you got him, Jimmy. But it's that's the fun part about this too, and doesn't have to end. As we record this, we don't know who they're going to play, but San Francisco, 49ers or the Rams. I know the 49ers have the lead as of last I checked. Yeah, they have the lead 10-7 as of now. I like that matchup if that's the matchup, and we have plenty of time to talk about that. But it's wild, Jake. Like if you would have told me at any point this year that we would be here, at any of the points, even after the first Chiefs game, did I think they could go on a run? Sure. Did I expect them to beat the Raiders? Yeah. Did I think they could beat the Titans? And did I pick them to beat the? Yeah. But even today, like it wouldn't have shocked me if the Chiefs won. Wouldn't have shocked me. I picked the Bengals, but it wouldn't have shocked me. And this team, man, different.
Yeah, I mean the resilience, right? They've done it throughout the year too, which I
Mm-hmm.
guess at this point it shouldn't surprise us. But we're so scarred by Bengals teams past that when the first half goes away, it's like, oh yeah, this is what I'm used to. I think people were taking victory laps in the first half too. I would love to go back on Twitter and get a snapshot of what people were saying at halftime, maybe before Andy Reid left points on the field, and what people are saying at the end of the game. I do think that, you know, I don't know that there's much like diminishing this accomplishment for the Bengals. I've seen some people say, Patrick Mahomes was really bad in the second half, but there's a reason that he wasn't good in the second half. And so I really think there's no minimizing this. There's no diminishing this accomplishment. And James, to your point about this being potentially the beginning, that's what I said on Locked On NFL too. It's when you draft Joe Burrow and he does what no other first overall pick has done and gets his team with those expectations on his shoulders through winning their first road playoff game, winning 3 playoff games for a team that hasn't won a playoff game in 30 years. For him to do that, that plants the seed of hope for that dynasty. People
Mhm.
were ready to talk about, oh, yeah, Tom Brady's retiring, and who knows what's officially happening there, I guess. But, nobody's going to stand in the way of Patrick Mahomes, or it's going to be Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. And we'll see if Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert can get into the conversation. Well, Patrick Mahomes just lost to Joe Burrow twice this year. He
Mhm.
gets to look for revenge next year. But until then, he gets to watch a Super Bowl from the couch. The Super Bowl, James. How many times do
Yeah.
I have to say it? The Super Bowl
It,
is where the Cincinnati Bengals are playing next. And Joe Burrow continues to win on the biggest stages. And how can you doubt the guy at this point, man? I just don't know how you do it with all the adversity on the offensive line and tearing up his knee last year. For him to do this at this stage in his career, just incredible stuff.
I joked with him after the game, and I was like, man, all of Cincinnati is going to have JB9 necklaces now and diamond pendants. Like everybody's going to have them now, and I think they might. And he said it was his favorite pregame outfit, but not many people could pull that off, and this dude can. It's wild. It's wild the stuff he pulls off. He pulls off these glasses that I don't even think they look good, and yet half the damn city is wearing them. And that's good for him. I'm not knocking him, but like it's just hilarious. Like he's got that swag to him. He's got something to him. And I said it last week again on one of these platforms. It might have been right here on this. Someone told me inside the organization that there's no tenseness going into big games. No one clenches. No one's tight. And I think that starts with Burrow. And in the past, it wasn't that way. It was tight. Andy's different. Like it's a different vibe if you talk to anyone there than it was when they were going into big games when they were last good. And I think it's because of Burrow. So when you look at it like the big picture, where does he fall under this? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to say he's better than Patrick Mahomes, but he thinks he's better. And he beat Patrick Mahomes twice, including in the AFC title game with the Super Bowl on the line when he was down 18 and there were 70,000 people going against him. And he's like, all right, we'll find a way. Oh, and his number one receiver was being doubled all game, and they were clouding him all game and trying to take him away and grabbing. And they still fight and they find a way. And you're right, with the offensive line being what it was, with people wondering why the hell they're running so many times on first down, all of that. And they don't get phased. They don't get undone. They don't get so frustrated. I mean, it would be easy to slam your helmet down 21-3, when you're punting and you're giving them the ball back or anything like that. Nope, they just keep digging. And I think it starts with Joe Burrow. And like I said, maybe the whole city of Cincinnati or just Bengals fans across the country are going to have that JB9 necklace. He was like, oh, you like that? Usually, of course he'll like that. By the way, the diamonds are real. He confirmed that. He said he makes too much money to have a fake diamond. So real diamonds there.
Great quote. Yeah, he can do whatever he wants. And I do think that you're right. There's something about this team that is different. You can see it pregame, the video of Joe Burrow on the bench talking to T. Higgins, talking to Jamar Chase. And, you got to credit Zach Taylor for it too. Joe Burrow, big part of this, absolutely. Zach Taylor's for whatever you fault him for, whether you're sitting at home right now and you're thinking, man, I hope they don't run it on first down too much in the playoffs, or you're thinking Zach Taylor really should have been coach of the year. Whichever side of that extreme you're on, if you're listening to this podcast, you got to give him some credit. The guy's created a culture and is part of this thing that is working. And he went from having the best odds, the favorite to be fired first in the preseason, from coaching a Senior Bowl 2 years ago to qualifying to do it again last year due to other coaching changes to a Super Bowl. And with Joe Burrow's help, with Lou Anarumo's help, with Brian Callahan's help, with all these players that are stepping up, with these stars that started making plays in the second half, hard to say they don't deserve it. We've got a lot of Super Bowl coverage coming your way. You're going to want to stay here. Make sure you hit that bell, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, whatever it is, because we're going to have you covered throughout the build up to the Super Bowl. And of course, afterwards, the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Kansas City Chiefs in overtime on an Evan McPherson field goal to advance to the Super Bowl. Until next time, Bengals fans, hoo-day, and have a good one.